All right, guys, let's talk about Fantasy Island, which is a Blumhouse version of Fantasy Island, which I have not really seen the show from the 70s, so this is not a review based on that accuracy to that show that's old in the 70s. I have maybe seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never really seen that show much. So, this is not a review based on accuracy to Fantasy Island. This is Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, and you've got to take that into account that it is a Blumhouse version of it. And I looked up the premise of the 70s show, and it sounds like it's accurate to this movie in a way, because I looked up the plot synopsis of the original TV show, and it says that it isn't a fantasy island where you go there and then your fantasies start to become nightmares. So they've got that down, I guess. I guess it's like that in this movie, but the movie itself, I'm gonna get away from the TV show because again I haven't seen it. The movie itself is a Blumhouse movie, and Blumhouse can be really hit or miss. And I do appreciate whether a Blumhouse movie is good or bad. I do like seeing these, and this one, I'll admit it right here. This movie has gotten lambasted, horrible reviews. This movie has gotten slaughtered by critics everywhere, and I'm not saying this movie's good at all. But honestly, in terms of like entertainment value, I was entertained for the majority of the movie. I never was bored. I was invested in this movie. I was honestly invested with everything that was going on in the movie. I thought the movie was kind of funny, but it was also really, really stupid. Like, it was so stupid, but it was fun to watch. It was a really fun, dumb watch. And I really didn't hate this movie. I think it's not a good movie, but on entertainment value, I was for the most part entertained, honestly. Like, I wasn't pissed off at this movie until the third act, but the first two acts I thought were really watchable, honestly. Like, I watched the first two acts and I was like, yeah, this is really watchable for me. I'm fine watching this. I'm not bored. I'm entertained in how dumb it is. Then we get to the third act, which I won't spoil here. This is still a spoiler for your review, but the third act in this movie is horrible because it's one of those movies. It reminds me of The Turning, which we just got last month, which did the same thing where you've got this whole movie set up in the first two thirds, and then they bring a random twist. And you're just sitting there like, are you serious? This is what the movie's gonna end on this random twist that doesn't make any sense, that contradicts everything, that in terms of character motivations, it makes absolutely no sense. Even when it's revealed, it's like, what? How does that ending work when you go from the whole movie before that with what these characters are doing? And I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil it. But honestly, for me personally, I thought that this was a fun watch. And even whenever it got to the bad third act, I still am glad I watched this movie. I didn't hate this movie. I didn't like the last act. The last act was really, really stupid. But as opposed to The Turning, where the whole movie I was like, I can't. I've had enough of this. I can't watch it. This one I could watch again. Honestly, I could watch this movie as a fun, so bad it's good, because I thought it was really, really bad, but in a fun way for the most part. Again, the first two acts are really fun. The third act is really stupid, and it did annoy me whenever I watched the movie, but after I watched it, I kind of thought, it still gave a reaction out of me, as opposed to The Turning, which was just like watching paint dry. It was so boring and unwatchable, The Turning, and this one was not. Even though it's not a good movie, it is for me personally, it was entertaining and I did enjoy it. Again, it reminds me of something like Black Christmas 2019. I could watch that movie again. I thought it was so bad, but it was so entertaining and so fun. I enjoyed it. This one, I feel the same way. I could watch this one again. I thought it was enjoyable. I really didn't mind it. And I think it's funny too that this movie, again, it's another Blumhouse movie that has Lucy Hale again as one of the main stars. That's funny bringing her back again. And then you've got other actors like Michael Pena and Maggie Q and Michael Rooker. And I do like the cast that they have in this movie. The cast is good, but it's just they're stuck with like this really bad material. And again, I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if it's even close. Besides the basic premise, but like it just this movie goes by the end of the movie, it goes in all these different directions where you're sitting there like, how does this make sense? It doesn't. And again, whether Blumhouse makes good movies or bad movies, they make both. I do, for the most part, enjoy watching any Blumhouse movie. There's not one that I have resented watching. Honestly, like there's not been one that I've resented seeing, even if there are bad ones. Even stuff like Truth or Dare, another Lucy Hale one. It was bad, but I enjoyed it. Like I'm just a fan of like trashy horror. Like if there's a horror movie that's like something like Truth or Dare, I could watch it again. I didn't hate Truth or Dare either. That or Black Christmas, like I could watch those again. I think that they have trashy charm to them, if that makes sense. And again, Blumhouse is a good company, even if they make good and bad products, which, spoiler alert, every company makes good and bad movies. Um, and I think that it's hard for me to say that I didn't not like this, because I did like the absurdity of it. It's an absurd, silly movie, and it was fun and entertaining. Even though it was a bad movie, it wasn't a good movie. Personally, for me, by movie standards, it was not good. It has a lot of stuff that didn't make any damn sense, but I thought I was entertained. So that to me is some sort of reasoning that I like this movie. It's not a good movie at all, but I was entertained for the most part. I thought I still wasn't bored. It wasn't like The Turning. It wasn't like The Grudge 2020, where I watched those two movies and I sat there so incredibly bored and exhausted. And this one I never felt bored at, because it was just so absurd that it kept me entertained and interested throughout.